My family has moved all around the Midwest since I was born. Before living in Velva, North Dakota, I used to live in Minnesota after living in Michigan. It's always been hard moving so much since I have to leave behind so many things that I knew so well. This yearbook from my elementary days reminds me of those times and people I used to know. My story starts on a farmstead in Sheboygan, Michigan. I was a content child with all the thrills a kid could ask for. I never knew that everything in my life would flip around and completely change. One day, we just left, and I didn't think anything of it. Looking back, the hardest part of moving was leaving everything behind. First, moving from Michigan wasn't as emotionally taxing, considering I was so young at just 5 years old. Memories were more vague, and I don't remember having any close friends at the time. I felt a closer connection to Minnesota. Despite living there for only 2 years, I created ties that made it super hard to part ways. It was also difficult creating a new life for myself. Adjusting to the new schools got repetitive and tiring. All I wanted to do was stay at one for the rest of my schooling days. Another thing I had to discover was new friends. Every time I wanted to make new friends, I had to think about how I wanted to present myself and fit in with a group. That same feeling was applied to home. We went from living in a bustling city with hundreds of thousands of people to a little community with less than 100 people. Since I was introduced to St. Paul's, moving to a farming town was strange. I used to get bored super easily and have barely anyone to hang out with. But after living in North Dakota for over 9 years, I've gotten greatly more accustomed to the lifestyle and am glad that we stayed here. Overall, the adjustments to the new environments was strenuous. As I look through the yearbook, I see some faces that I remember, but most that I don't. Memories flood in, and I get reminded of the good old days. The nostalgia of it can be a good thing by having those moments remembered, but I try not to let it take hold of me. Sometimes it's better to let the past go and look towards the future. Although, at the time of our relocations, I hated almost every moment of it, I wouldn't change anything about it. The experience has led me to encounter different places and people to put me out of my comfort zone. In conclusion, leaving my old life and discovering my new one has shaped me as a person.